Hey, I'm Benny, and welcome to the series where we'll go over a small aspect of SimTutor and walk you through it, giving my tips and tricks as we go. Following from last week, we'll be covering how to make the swap images of a picture swap step within PowerPoint, and a few general things to note when making those swap images. Let's get started. Resuming from last week, we've just created this image as you see here. What we're going to do to create the swap images is make these images that go over this grey box on the left here, depending on what they hover over. If you want to see the sim in action, there'll be a link in the video description that you can check this out and see how it works. But what we want to do is select this rectangle here that we drew, this transparent grey box, and just copy that, and in a new PowerPoint, you'll understand why soon. So just Control New to open a new PowerPoint, and you can just go ahead and change this slide size as well. So this is what we did last episode, but we're going to do it here as well because we want the same dimensions as the previous one with a twist. So just go 1920px and 1080px again, and click OK. And then we just want to paste that rectangle in. So you'll see how it fits nicely on this left side. So we want to have this slide, or this image that will be the result of the slide, to be this dimension. So we have to go back to the slide size and change the width so it matches the width of there. Unfortunately, there's no great way to do this. You kind of have to just guess and check. So I'm going to just try 17, and then you can click either one, and then you just drag this on. You can see it's a little bit too big, so you can change it again to maybe 16. You just rinse and repeat until you get the right size, and it's good enough. With that, it doesn't have to be perfect. You'll see once you layer it on top, you don't actually notice the edges anyway. So that's all good. So first thing we want to do is just get rid of these things. You can just click them and click delete. So we have a nice blank slate here. So next, what we want to do is from this image here. So say we're going to work with the dust extractor, this box thing over here. We want them to, when they hover over this, the dust extractor comes up with a brief description of what the dust extractor does. So what we're going to do is grab an image of the dust extractor. I've just got one on the side here. I'll just copy and paste it in. So you can grab your own image, and then you just kind of put that on there. We want to give it a bit of a title, so you can just draw a text box. So we'll just go up here and just call this dust extractor. And then you can just add your styling as you wish. I'll just do something really basic. So just center aligned it using this button here, making it bigger. You can use these little buttons here. There's keyboard shortcuts as well for those. So we'll just put that at the top. Cool. And then we want to have a brief description as well of what the dust extractor actually does. So again, you just make a text box, fill it out there, and then you can say, you can type in your stuff. I've got my text here. I'm just going to copy and paste it in just because it's easier. You don't have to wait so long. So there we go. And then again, we're going to center it and then just make the text a little bit bigger. Not too big, something like that. Nice, fits, looks good. And that's basically our first swap image done. So now we just need to repeat that process for the other ones, but we can do this in a faster manner by just right-clicking on this and duplicating the slide. So the next thing, say, is the saw blade here, right? So we want to make a swap image for that. So back on this here, we've got the duplicated slide. We can just rename this to saw blade, and then just grab our image of said saw blade and put that in. And you can see, just kind of move that into there, and then you can just change out the text as well. So I've got the text on the side again. I'm just going to copy and paste it for the sake of saving time. And you'll see this is a little bit too big, so you can just center it and then just make it a little bit smaller, so using these little things here. And there you go. And there's basically two of your swap images done. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish off the other ones, and then you can see how we can export them in a timely manner. Awesome. So now we've got all our 6 points of interest, so you can see that each of these will match up with the 6 swap images icon things here. So we've got 6 there, and then we've got 6 images that we can swap between when you hover over them. So that's all working really well. now we just need to export these images so that we can use these as swap images within SimTutor that we'll be covering the next episode of the series. So again, to export, we've done this before, we just go to Save As, so File, Save As, and then you can save this as a PNG or JPEG. I'm going to do a PNG this time, and then you can just call these swap images. What you want to do is when you click Save, it'll ask you to do all slides or just one. For this case, we want to do all slides. We want all 6 images to come up at once. And in our Explorer, you'll see that there are 6 images here, and they're looking good. So we open one up. That looks about right. So there's how we make our swap images for our picture swap step. So now these can be overlaid on top of the background image, and the scene here, once we hover over these little icons or the actual points of interest. Yeah, so next week we're going to be learning how to put this all together within SimTutor and actually make the picture swap step. If you have any questions about this process or anything PowerPoint related, let us know at info@simtutor.com, and we'll see you next time.